What's up, guys? Welcome to Voicey here. This is your host, Captain Zach, and today's subreddits are r/IDontWorkHereLady, as well as a few stories from r/Today I Frick Park Marketed It Up. Rest in peace, Mac Miller. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode. This story's called Karen Wants My Trolley. I have quite a few I Don't Work Here Lady stories. Most are from many years ago, and the details are fuzzy. Some are more recent, but don't feature a Karen. This one, however, happened on Sunday afternoon and had a proper Karen in the wild. As usual, a bit of pretext. While I have a collection of vastly differing skills, my main occupation has me on construction sites. Sites are inherently dangerous, and every few years, one finds oneself in a crumpled heap a few meters below where they were moments previously. Such an occasion occurred to me on Thursday, due to an old ladder rung going for early retirement while I was resting my entire weight on it. Suffice to say, I gave myself a proper spannering, dislocating and hyperextending my shoulder, giving my opposite knee a good twist and a decent bruising to match my ego. Friday and the first half of Saturday was spent in a drug-induced haze with heat packs, hot baths, and enough cursing to make a sailor blush. Late Saturday, my shoulder was still entirely useless, but I was starting to get mobility back into my knee, enough that I felt able to head to the local cheap value store. This particular store has a very limited amount of parking at ground level, but a decent amount at rooftop with 2 lifts down into the front of the store. Trolleys are often in short supply in the store, so I grabbed one at the rooftop where they're in plenty, both to make sure I had one and to act as a bit of support to my ailing knee and shoulder. Get into the lift, hold the door, HODOR! For a lady hurrying to make it back. Down we go. As the doors open, I let the lady go first due to my busted butt hobbling, and I've barely cleared the lift when a wild Karen grabs the front of my trolley and exclaims, "About time! You people should do a better job restocking trolleys!" Her condescending expression gathering a hint of confusion about the eyes, much like storm clouds gathering, when I don't immediately let go of the trolley. Now, I'm not a small guy. I'm 105 kilograms and 6'2", heavily bearded. I'm wearing jeans, sneakers, and a pale blue t-shirt with a small girl kneeling in prayer and text that says, "May they all burn in hell." Fairly distinctly removed from the staff uniform of green vest, light gray shirt, and dark gray trousers. I'm pretty easygoing, but being in pain and low on sleep means I've been getting out of the wrong side of the bed 2 nights in a row. And I have no patience for Karen's crap. There are plenty up in the car park. Feel free to go fetch one. Karen's eyes nearly bug out of her head, and she jerks on the trolley while inhaling sharply to feed me some line about her privilege, no doubt. But she doesn't get the chance because her jerk on the trolley had sent a jolt of pain straight up my arm and my knee was halfway giving out. This presented via a loud, grunted, "Puck!" from me, followed by an angry and not particularly quiet, "Truck's sake, lady, take a look at me and tell me what part of what you see leads you to believe I work here!" She didn't immediately let go, but just stood there, mouth agape and slack, eyes trying to find something to make sense of what I just said. I still had one good arm and one good leg. Turns out, that was more than enough to push free of Karen's death grip and hobble off. Felt like throwing more abuse at her as I passed regarding her "you people" comment, but couldn't think of anything witty at the time. I saw her pointing me out to a staff member when I was checking out. I pointed to a staff member nearby and mouthed, "Staff," while nodding my head. Pointed to myself and mouthed, "Not staff," while shaking my head. Put my bags in my trolley and hobbled off back to the lifts. May she burn in hell. I like this one. This one was short and sweet, and I 100% believe this. Also, I really love that Game of Thrones reference. I finally get them after having not watched the show for like the entirety of its run. But I just finished it, so good show. Anyway, yeah, I love how this dude handled it. I don't know why, but I'm really thinking of Hopper from Stranger Things when I'm imagining this dude. This story's called I Am Not a Nurse. So at my job in the long-term care pharmacy, the dress code is business casual or scrubs. I don't wear scrubs often, but I will once a month or so when I'm feeling lazy. My best friend's wife went into labor and he called me about the news. I told him I'd head up to the hospital after work. I was wearing scrubs that day. I go in and get up to the waiting room. He comes out and gives me an update. He goes back to the room and I go hang out in the waiting room. My scrubs, of course, were the same color the nurses at this hospital wear. I'm sitting in the waiting room and this lady approached me, very angry, yelling,
"Why are you just sitting on your butt when my daughter-in-law's about to give birth?"
I tell her, kinda laughing, because I was like, wait a minute, I don't work here, I'm waiting for my friend. She apparently does not believe me because she replies,
"Clearly you aren't working since you're sitting here. Is this your break?"
I ignore her because I honestly don't give a flip and I'm not about to entertain this crap. She storms out, yelling about how she will just
"Find someone who cares."
Several minutes later, I hear her yelling again, coming back towards the room. She has an actual nurse with her, comes in, points at me and screams,
"This is how your noises act?"
The actual nurse was very confused. I told her she thinks I work here. The nurse, still kind of confused, is giving me the wait a minute face. I then get up, show the nurse and this crazy bat my work badge that is still around my neck. It clearly states, pharmacy name, billing department. This enrages the woman. I mean, she flies off the flippin' handle.
"You need to stop flippity-doo-dying around. This is serious."
She continued making such a scene that the hospital security had to escort her off the property. So, she missed the birth of her grandchild all because she wouldn't listen to me and insisted I do my nicest duty. Grandma has some anger issues. Alright, that just hardcore made me think of scenes in movies when someone's giving birth and everyone's just panicking and this old lady's just running around the hospital yelling at people that look like nurses. My daughter's gonna give birth. Ah. This story's called I Don't Work for This Airport. So this happened recently while I was at John F. Kennedy International Airport. Me and a few of my childhood friends have been planning on going on a 2-week trip to Europe for years. We hadn't actually gone because until recently, most of them were in college and I was working full-time. I'm actually a pilot, which was part of the problem. So this was our first big opportunity. I'll go ahead and set up the cast. There's me, security officer, Karen, and I'll call her Mary. Karen's really embarrassed daughter. So at first, it was a fairly normal trip to the airport. For me, airports aren't stressful as I generally have to run the place. Mostly due to my known crew badge with my picture and the airline I work for that let me pass TSA with some ease and go to the pilot areas. So while my friends are waiting in line, I walk over to the side and show my badge to the TSA guy with the wand, and he begins scanning me. I actually get through without much issue and turn to wait for my friends. That's when I see Karen staring directly at me. We make eye contact and she waves me over. Now, she is in the TSA line, not far enough along to take her shoes off. Now, I can't walk up behind TSA and I didn't want to go back through TSA. So I shake my head, not wanting to call out to her. I can see her face getting red. Now, I'll say I don't look close to an employee. I'm wearing jeans and a t-shirt, quite literally a Lipton shirt. And aside from my badge and my travel bag, I look nothing like a pilot. And I'm only a first officer. Seeing my non-compliance, she immediately starts to shout, "What do you mean no? You can't say no to me!" At this point, the TSA officer who had wanded me walks over to her, asking her to calm down. She just kept shouting, "Don't you tell me to do anything. My son is a platinum flyer and he got me my tickets. You need to do what I say." While I stand there confused, the TSA officer asked her to step out of line and she pulls poor Mary along with her. Karen looked as if she had won a great victory and begins striking past the TSA officer towards me. The officer stops her and she turns on him. "Oh, so you're playing favorites now? You let some employee walk through like he owns a place and step on customers, but not a platinum flyer?" The officer was already fed up and I can't blame him. But he waves me over with a sad expression as he explains, "Look, he's a crewman. He flies for one of the airlines. That's why he gets to go past." I held up my badge for her to see it. Karen, looking at me with her platinum hair fury, "So you do work here and you still try to ignore me? I'll make sure you lose your job and your license for this." What the? I don't want to hear a word from you if it's not the name of your supervisor. I don't work here. I fly for airline and I am on vacation. You just admitted you work here and yet you still ignored me. Luckily for me, Mary was starting to get fed up with her mother and tried to cut in. Karen ignored her, yelling about her son and how he would get me fired and her privilege as a platinum flyer. At this point, I really hadn't gotten in much of a word, but I didn't really need to because Mary finally got a word in on her mother's mindless rant. You need to stop. Mom, we're gonna get in line quietly and wait our turn. Otherwise, I've had enough and I will simply leave you behind. This shut her up and I took my opportunity to walk away as fast as I could. Don't you love it when children of entitled parents stand up to those entitled parents? Because I do. But that usually ends with the entitled parent getting really mad at the kid, but hopefully she didn't get in too much trouble. Mary the MVP. Alright, time for a goodie. This one's called, Today I flubbed up by buying my mom an Amazon device. I want to start by giving some background here. I basically live, eat, sleep, and breathe Amazon. I need something, straight to Amazon. I use Kindle and Audible daily. Want to stream music? Amazon Music. Want a new movie? Prime Video. Run out of something randomly? Hey Alexa, laundry soap, toothpaste, shampoo, dog food, fish food. Subscribe and save, B-Hatch. Amazon has the answers to all of life's problems. So, when looking for a place to store photos, I see Prime members have free unlimited photo storage with Amazon Photos. Naturally, my next move is to take full advantage of this being a Prime member. Automatically upload photos from my phone? Even better. Rewind to September 25th, my mom's birthday. I thought about her gift for a while. But when I remembered she didn't have a smart TV, the answer was easy. I hop on Amazon Shopping and use my Amazon credit card to purchase one Fire Stick TV. She was so happy she could watch Netflix on her TV now. Yay, success! Or so I thought. Yesterday, I get an email from Amazon with a subject line, Welcome to the Fire TV family. And I thought, oh good, she's finally setting it up. She's gonna love it. Not even in the smallest, darkest corner of my mind did I imagine that it would sign into my Amazon account without even asking for a password. Surely she'd have to use her own account. Fast forward to today at a family barbecue. The TV was turned on to the Fire Stick homepage and people were playing with it, using different apps, etc. Eventually it's forgotten about and left to turn on its screensaver. Sitting in my mother's kitchen, I glance behind me towards the TV to see a giant, lit-up 65-inch photo of my genitals. I spit out my drink and everyone looks at me. I happen to be sitting in a position where the TV is behind me, so every single person in my family got a glorious view of me, bright red, choking, scrambling to find the gosh darn remote with a horribly X-rated backdrop. I'm not a person to just take one picture like that and call it good. I took probably 40 pictures that night for my SO, to include several sexual paraphernalia in all different positions to get the perfect photos that were now being displayed on my parents' television for my entire family to view. I have tattoos that were visible in the picture, so there's no denying this is me and no way to talk myself out of this one. Nobody helped me. The remote was nowhere to be found, so I pulled the device from the TV and took it straight home with me, where I'm currently hiding under my blanket in shame and misery. I didn't give anyone a chance to say anything. I just ran away. The worst part? I asked Alexa how to recover from pain and humiliation, and sorry, I'm not sure about that. Frick Amazon! This story's called, Today I Fudged Up by Watching My Neighbors Fight While I Was Eating Popcorn. So, I'm a bit of a soccer fan, and today 2 big local teams had a game. So naturally, I was watching the match in my living room. Little did I know there was another match going on at my neighbor's house. About 10 minutes into my game, I started hearing screams coming from the house across the street. Between the game and the distance between us, I really couldn't distinguish any words. So I just raised the volume of my TV and kept watching. During halftime, I got a bit hungry and decided to make myself some popcorn. For those of you who don't watch sports, halftimes tend to be a bit long, and is just a bunch of commercials, so I lower the volume of the TV as I microwave some popcorn. By this point, my neighbors had been fighting for about 30 minutes, and just as I take the popcorn out of the microwave, I hear some doors slamming. Curiosity got the better of me, so I went to my balcony to see what the scope of the fight was in case I had to call the cops or something. Now, I have 2 dogs, so I didn't want to leave my popcorn bag unattended on the couch, so I brought it with me. So here I am, staring from my balcony at the 40-year-old married couple who took the fight outside. From the looks of it, the wife had kicked the husband out of the house. By now I could tell what the fight was about, nothing too dramatic as to add spice to the story, or so I thought. Suddenly, she slapped him hard on the face, which made him turn as I gasped dramatically, which made them both look up into my balcony. Now, try to see this from their perspective. They've been fighting for over 30 minutes, yelling and slamming doors, and just as they took their fight outside, they say their gay, gossip-loving neighbor with a big bag of popcorn looking from their balcony. This got them furious, as if defying the laws of physics. Their faces turned redder than they already were, and they both took their frustration at me, yelling all sorts of things. "Enjoying the show, you?" Elongated cuss word. I honestly decided to take one for the team and kept putting popcorn into my mouth as they were yelling at me because it seemed to stop their fight and join them together as a twisted dysfunctional couple once again. They both flipped a finger at me as I walked inside. "Can you believe this flipping guy?" The wife screamed at her husband as he patted her back and closed the door. When I got inside, I was way too busy laughing to enjoy the rest of the game, but luckily my team won 5-2, so all is good in the world. Okay, that story was really funny. This is just eating popcorn and watching the wife smack the crap out of her husband. Domestic violence is no joke though. That couple needs help. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.